Get it. Let's get it.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. You know the deal. First Take Tuesday. We got to talk Canelo. My man was out there doing work. We're going to get into that. DK Metcalf out here running 100 meters. We got some thoughts on that. It made me think, what sport has the most athletic players? We're going to get into that. I think that's an interesting conversation. We'll close that out. Then NBA, the play-in is coming. Brad Beal trying to go for 50 every night. Steph Curry going for 50 every night. They're trying to win the scoring title. Bazemore said, it's tough to keep up with SC30. Beal did not like that. We're going to talk about that. Beal had some things to say on the interwebs, on Twitter. I got the video. We'll talk that. We'll close it out. NFL talk. Over-under totals come out, or the schedule comes out tomorrow. NFL totals are out. Tim Tebow is back playing football. Quick talk on that. Couple of things to talk about. Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
Yeah, it's good.
What's going on?
Yeah, not too much. Hey, shout out real quick. Rest in peace, Colt Brennan, the Hawaii legend.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that. Yo, double check your mic. I don't know if you're hooked up. You might be getting computer audio.
Gotcha.
But yes, RIP Colt Brennan, bro. I remember that season and when they played Georgia and that was the Sugar Bowl. That was just unheard of that a team like Wisconsin would even get to that stage. Yeah, I think you're good now. That a team like that would even get to that stage. Shout out Colt Brennan. He was ahead of his time, you could say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. You back on the mic now. We back locked.
Yep.
First Take Tuesday. Rest in peace, Colt Brennan. We got to talk Canelo. Did you watch the fight? We were watching. We was texting a little bit.
Of course.
Yo, first things first. We got to talk about the entrance. Look at Canelo. Look at the production he put behind the entrance. Viva Mexico, dog.
Viva Mexico. Look, they said that there were 75,000 people in there, and I'm going to go ahead and say that 74,000 of them were Mexican or of some Mexican descent because they really showed out for Canelo.
Dog,
big time.
He had the
whole squad in there.
I never seen an entrance like that.
Never.
I just gave y'all a little 25-second clip of Canelo Alvarez's entrance to the ring on Saturday. Go watch it on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you want to look it up. It's about 5 minutes and 40 seconds long.
Yeah, it went on forever.
It was some insane big ass production. But yo, when you got the biggest draw and you can fill a building with all your people at 70,000 plus, the biggest boxing crowd ever in the United States of America, then you got to have a big ass entrance.
Well, and also, we can't fail to mention that Michael Buffer walked out looking like $1 billion.
Shout out Mike Buffer.
Was just dripping money.
Shout out Mike Buffer.
I read somewhere, and this was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that he gets $1 million just to show up. So that number's probably gone up now, but he gets $1 million just to show up. Owns the phrase "Let's get ready to rumble." You can't say that if you want to. We can't say it without having to pay Michael Buffer some money. Shows up in the all white tux with the rollies shining.
Got it.
The hair looks fresh, just looking like $1 million. But it's funny, man. We've been, I think we talked about this a few episodes ago. I've been watching a lot of UFC. Really hasn't been a ton of big boxing matches since the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And the difference between a boxing production and a UFC production, it's just not even close.
It's not even
like
close.
Boxing is a production. Like if you think that, the time in between like undercard and main event in a boxing match could be 2 hours if you want to play it that way, right? Like the UFC, they keep it moving. Like, hey, 5 minutes in between, we're gonna clear up the octagon. Y'all motherfuckers got like 30 seconds to get out and start fighting. Boxing, hey, we're talking about Pacquiao might want to finish watching the game. Canelo might want to have a full mariachi band. You know what I mean? Who knows what might happen in the boxing match? But
let's
also yeah.
No, I was gonna say let's. I hear you. It's got to be a production because
production.
That's part of the draw. Before we kill this this Canelo talk, how do you feel about Saunders throwing in the towel? We know that they at the time he might have had a crushed orbital. Where are you at, real quick, with folks just quitting a fight? Is it smart? Is it pussy? Is it because if you're watching the fight, he started to come on in the middle of that fight.
I thought the fight was. I mean, I know the judges didn't have it too close, but I think to the eye it looked not even. I think Canelo had him by a couple rounds, but it's not like he was getting his ass whooped. Look, man. I mean, smart. It's always smart. You know what I mean? You never want to go in there and take more damage if you feel that your body can't. But I think it's pussy. Do I think it's soft? Like, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like he quit, right? He quit. He wasn't a doctor that made the decision. And if you look at it, he was in there saying no. Like, no, I don't. No mas. I'm finished, right? And I think I had texted you, like maybe in the second round. I go, oh, that uppercut, it's gonna be game over because Canelo was hunting him with that uppercut all fight. I was like, he's gonna catch him with that uppercut, and then it's over with. He caught him with the uppercut. To his credit, he didn't fall down, but he was cooked. He was finished after that.
Yeah, it was
and then he goes back to the corner, and it was like, yeah, there's no chance this guy's getting up. The eye closed up, and after that uppercut, if you look, they turned to him. They showed his eye was like this big. I mean, his shit it swelled up immediately.
It was over with.
So there's no doubt that he was
flush.
Yeah, he was injured, not hurt. He was injured, and if he can't see, he can't see. I just feel like not a lot. Some fighters probably would have went back out there. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to fault him for it, but did he quit? Yeah, he 100% quit. He wanted no more parts of it. He got his check, though. He's going to retire. He'll be fine. He's going to go back and he's one of those, he's a Romaniscan traveler or some shit. You see, he had Tyson Fury out there with him.
Yeah, he's a gypsy.
He's a gypsy. Yeah, those dudes bare knuckle box. Go see Snatch if you want to idea how those folks live. They're wild. So nice. Yeah, shout out to Canelo, man. I'm happy he got his contract with the Zone and all that shit figured out because I know they were trying to fuck him on some money. It seems like everything's good. At the end of the day, the money talks, and we'll see. I saw a lot of cats. You still saw the one dude. I don't know who it was, but he had the shirt that said both these dudes are dodging me or some shit like that. I just like the spectacle.
That's part of the production.
Part of the production. Like who's next?
Yeah, it's part of the production.
And then they had you see the new promoter come up at the end, the slick British dude,
the English dude. Yeah, he's a big time promoter over there.
No more Don Kings. This is the new face of the promoter. That guy slick looked like $1 million too. I don't know who he is, but shout out to him. I know he's big time.
Yeah, shout out to I don't know about
his name, man. We gotta see if we can get him on the pod. That dude looked like he looked like he already had the next 6 move planned out when he came out there. Like just walked out, like he had the air of confidence. He's like, yeah, we're this fight. Yeah, we're gonna make this fight. Yeah. So hopefully, boxing takes a note from the UFC and just makes fights. Like that's the biggest thing that misses. And we love boxing, but you gotta make the fights. I always give Dana White the credit. I know he owns the wrong word, but he controls all the fighters under one league, which isn't the case with boxing, which is why Canelo had 15 belts. But you gotta make
even carry all the belts.
They had a belt guy to put belts on them. It's like, no, this one goes this way.
Yeah.
But so hopefully they figure out a way, unify everything, put it under one thing, make sure folks still get paid, but have the fights, make the fights, man. Make the fights. That's all I gotta say to boxing. Make the fights happen. We need them.
All right. Let's rotate over. This DK Metcalf situation. DK Metcalf goes out. Y'all know the story. Y'all been paying attention. DK Metcalf goes out. He wants to train and run the 100 meters, possibly, some type of pre-tryout for the Olympics, right? He goes out. He runs a sub 11. He runs I think it was like a 10.89 or something like that, somewhere around there. But it was a solid time, but he ended up second to last in the group. So first off, how did you feel about that sprint? How did you feel about him doing it? Did you feel like he was being disrespectful to the runners? Did you feel like
No.
It was a spectacle, or it was just yeah. Go ahead. How did you?
So I mean, if I'm the Seattle Seahawks, I don't want him doing that because he pulls a hammy and that throws off the offseason program for him. So I'm surprised he got permission.
Did he get permission?
I have no idea. Maybe he didn't. So I don't know. No, I thought it was a great run. I mean, first off, you're running against professional runners, right? So I don't expect him to beat those guys. I don't expect him to be in the front. The fact that he was keeping up with those guys is amazing in and of himself because he's 120 pounds heavier than the next heaviest guy. Like, this is not a small man doing this. Right. I don't know the exact measurables on DK Metcalf, but I think it's around 6'3", 250.
No, he's not that big. 232.
232 was just straight muscle, while most of these runners are about 6 feet, 190 pounds, right? 200 pounds, nowhere near the amount of mass less that he carries. So the fact that he's out there and keeping pace and looks good, it looks like he belongs. Like, if I was just watching that and didn't know who DK Metcalf is, I'd just be like, damn, that's a big ass runner. They probably want him to lose some weight so he can be faster. So the fact that he can move at that speed and keep up with those guys. And again, this was a professional race. This wasn't some amateur event or some bullshit like that. These are some of the top runners in the world, and he was keeping up with them. So yeah, I thought that was extremely impressive. Very impressive. I think you could find other guys in the NFL that could keep up. I don't know how many guys at that size you would find that would be able to do that except for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle Pitts wins that race.
Kyle Pitts could walk and win that race.
Kyle Pitts wins that race.
Like 100 meters? What is this?
Yeah,
did that last week.
Kyle Pitts win that race by about 2 or 3 laps.
But no, in all seriousness, yeah, that was the most impressive thing about me. Not the fact that an NFL player could keep up with pro runners. The fact that an NFL player of his size could keep up with professional runners, to me, it's amazing.
It worked out perfectly. He went out there. He only trained for a couple months. People in the track community were worried about him embarrassing folks or him making people look bad, or like they thought that he was, making making a mockery of their sport. Like, you just gonna come off the street, train for a month, and think you're gonna show up and outrun some of the best 100-meter runners in the world. Like, not gonna happen like that. So I think it worked out perfectly. He didn't embarrass anybody. He didn't disrespect anybody. He came and said, I just want to run with some of the best in the world, see where I compete. He trained for 2 months, didn't get hurt, showed up, kept up, didn't look out of place. And that's not what he does. Yeah. Also, a big thing, Acho was there, Sam Acho, Fox Sports. Not Sam Acho. Who am I thinking of?
Emmanuel Acho?
Emmanuel Acho.
The one who can't dress?
Yes, the one who sometimes can dress and then sometimes has
some really just
disgusting stuff.
Terrible.
But Emmanuel Acho was there. He tweeted the video, and he came out and was like, I went up to DK and asked him, what made you run the 100? What made you actually do that? Like, why are you doing it? What was the point? And he was like, I just wanted to do it, man. Everybody talks about how fast they are and this, that, and they could beat this person in a race and this, that, and the third. I just wanted to come out here and run on the track, put up a good time, and see what I could do. So I respect that. I thought it went perfectly. He didn't get hurt. Now it's time to focus on football. Shout out DK. But it did have me wondering, what sports has the best athletes?
So we talking out of like the 5 major teams?
Yeah, sports? Like what sports do you think have the best athletes?
So we're going NBA, NHL, NFL, baseball, hockey, soccer.
Whatever.
Right, the 6 major sports. With those soccer in there for you. Here's my thing with this, man. I think, in my opinion, I've always felt this way. The best athletes in the world are playing in the National Football League. And here's why. You have guys that can jump, run, all that in other sports, right? The difference with the NFL is you're required to do it at a size that is not required in these other sports. Baseball, there's no size requirement at all, right? You have little tiny guys who are killing it. You have big guys who are killing it. Basketball, obviously you want some height and there's different things. You want some size. Soccer, I'm assuming it's kind of like baseball where it's not, size isn't as much. Whatever. For me, the NFL, we just talked about Kyle Pitts. We just talked about DK Metcalf. You're talking about every year there's a big-ass linebacker coming in running a 4.3, 4.4, right? These guys are expected to maintain that speed and agility while also being much larger than the average human being. Yeah. That's the difference for me. A long time ago, someone told me, you have to be a freak of nature to play in the NFL. And it's 100% true. Out of all these sports, the NFL is the only one that has an entire week dedicated to putting prospects through workouts just to make sure that they are athletic enough to play in the NFL. There's no football being played in the combine, right? You are not lining up going 11 on 11. It is not a measure of skill, right? It is 100% a measure of, do you cut it in the NFL athletically? We don't care about your film. We don't care about your numbers. We don't care about your production. We don't care about any of that. There's a fine line. If you cannot meet this level of athleticism, you just cannot play on Sundays because the athletes that we're throwing out there are too good. And yes, that happens in basketball, right? I'm sure in some cases it happens in baseball. I'm sure it definitely happens in soccer, right? But not to the level of which it happens in the NFL. There is a level of athlete that you have to be at to play. You could take the biggest offensive lineman in the NFL, right? Go get me Orlando Brown, any one of these fucking guys, right? And line them up against somebody who's relatively quick. That NFL lineman is keeping up with or beating them. Look at some of these times. You got 6'7" linemen running 5'2s, 5'3s. That's fast as shit for someone that size. Don't let someone run a sub-5. You got some of these guys running 4'9s, 4'8s. These are offensive linemen. Where else do you have Cam Newtons walking around? We're talking about a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback that runs a 4'4", right? Like, where else do you have guys like that walking around? So the prerequisite for playing in the NFL isn't being good at football. It's being a freak of nature. We look at guys like Tariq Cohen. We call him the human joystick. These guys stand around just doing backflips. It's crazy. They're just a natural level of athleticism that you need to be in the NBA. A great example is, remember when KD was coming out through the NBA combine and he couldn't bench press 185 pounds? Yes. Right? And like, that's one of your NBA tests, and he couldn't do it. Well, guess what? He still went number 2 in the draft and is one of the greatest basketball players ever to play the game. So whereas in the NFL, if you can't hit your 225 or whatever it is, you're not getting drafted. You can't show up here. We don't want you. You see so many good college players that just don't have the athleticism. So many good high school players that just don't have the athleticism. Each level you get at, the players are that much more athletic. So I think the NFL has the best athletes just because they're all freaks in nature. And that's not discrediting any other sport. It's just you're not finding men that move that fast, that at that size anywhere else on the planet.
Yeah, I think the size and speed thing is a good judge of who is the better athlete and who's not. Everything you said was dead on. I think even in basketball, to go on that KD lane, you don't have to be in the tippiest of top shape and be the most athletic to make a major impact in hoops.
Mm-hmm.
If you might be skilled enough, and you might have the mental sharpness and know the game of basketball. You do not have to be in tip-top shape. If you want to play defensive end or linebacker or running back where they're just beating you up every single play, you got to be in tip-top physical shape, and you have to be able to move and move quickly, have burst, all that.
Even the line, under all that gut, trust me, there's a muscle up here.
Go look at
their legs. Like,
look at Aaron Donald. Like,
yeah.
Not a game. It's not a game down there.
You saw him in Hard Knocks where he's walking around without his shirt on. Like, that dude is straight jack, zero fat. You know what I'm saying?
Miles
and he's 285. Miles Garrett, yeah. That Miles Garrett photo. Like, you just don't have human beings walking around like that in other sports. That's a great example. And Miles Garrett runs a 4.4.
Yeah, it's not natural, right?
It's just not natural.
You guys, like, over the years, you got guys like Paul Pierce, not the most athletic dude, but mentally sharp.
Kill you.
Could get anywhere he wanted, could handle it enough. The MVP this year, Jokic, is not a physical specimen by any means.
No definition. Never seen a weight room. James Harden literally can go to the club, to the gym, and give you 40. Like, it just doesn't happen that way.
So it's hands down football.
Yeah, it's hands down to me. Yeah, like, again, like the combination of size and speed, the fact that there are athletic benchmarks you need to hit to even be considered. Like, that to me is the one that really sticks out. Like, you can't really make up for a lack of athleticism in the NFL. Like, who's your favorite slow linebacker? Even that line, a slow linebacker in the NFL runs like a 4.7. You're like, oh, I don't know. That 1/10 of a second literally determines whether or not you can make it in the NFL. And that's why you see guys who are just straight freaks, like this dude from Penn State who had 0 sacks, but ran a 4.37. What is it, 6'5", 270, and ran a 4.37? What is that?
Yeah,
where do you make that? That's a freak of nature. You can't like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's why and obviously in other sports you do have some guys that cross over to freakiness, right? Like LeBron James, freak of nature, obviously, right? In baseball, I can't think a lot of baseball players offhand, but lots of freak of natures out there. You know what I mean? In soccer, I'm sure you can name a bunch of guys who athletically are just at a different level, but they're also not expected to be 250 pounds and maintain that and walk around that way. Like, all you need to do, if you've never seen it in real life, like anybody, if you ever seen like an NFL player next to you, it's hard to describe how large they are. Like, just big in places that there's no reason to be big in. Just solid. Arm like this.
Big
neck
and solid,
like this.
bro. Head
like this. Legs like this. Like, they're just big, dude. All over. Like, I'm a big dude. I stand next to an NFL guy. It's like I look like I'm not in shape like that, but it's like I look like a dwarf.
You know who I shook up with way back in the day, and I was actually shocked at how rocky he was? Pause.
Back away on that one.
Tank Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Ex-Bears D tackle. He was outside of Heckies. I shook up with him and I did the pull-in and like banged him on the back. And in my head, you see him on TV, you're like, he looks kind of soft. This dude was fire plug.
Yeah, just,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And he looks like a fat dude on TV. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. That's like a perfect example. So yeah, man, it's a different beast for these dudes in the NFL.
100%, man. It's a whole nother ball game.
And I think a perfect example too is a guy like DK being able to walk over to another sport on 2 months training, and he didn't even get last. He was keeping up with folks, and he didn't lose by that much of a time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anyone in any other sport that can walk over and play football, but I do think some football players can walk over and play other sports.
I absolutely think. Maybe not basketball. I think basketball, 100%. You could throw some of these dudes on baseball and be like, look, man, 3 times out of 10 and get a hit. Once you're on base, it's over with. Who's standing in front of DK Metcalf on the base path?
Right.
What catcher wants that smoke? Like, nah, go ahead, bro. Like,
and I also think over the years, these guys that played 2 sports were football guys first.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bo Jackson was a football dude first. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he would say that. If you asked him, he'd probably say, I did both, bro. But like, nah, bro. At Auburn, Bo was Bo, and he was a football guy first.
Great example, Tim Anderson. Grew up playing football and basketball. Didn't start playing baseball till later in life when it wasn't going to happen for him in football and basketball. Said, I'm going to go play baseball. Cool. And that's nothing. Like, I don't want this to make it sound like anybody can walk up and go play baseball or any of these other sports, because there's a physical requirement. You just, it doesn't matter how much in the gym you are, you might not be able to get there.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, like you said, Deion Sanders. Those are football guys that play baseball too, but they were football guys first. Yeah,
100%.
It's a different type of athlete, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to hoops because it's hoops. Yeah.
Can I give a quick first take?
Yeah.
On one thing, just quick 3 minutes, man. Just because I don't know why this is bothering me so much.
Yeah.
But when it broke yesterday, it's bothered me.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Kenny Mayne.
Yeah, shout out Kenny Mayne.
Shout out Kenny Mayne. Like, I know times change. I just don't understand why you get rid of Kenny Mayne. I always appreciate people who do a serious job and don't take themselves too seriously. Like, some of these Sports Center people and ESPN people take themselves very seriously. I just always thought Kenny Mayne was fresh. He had the jokes. Absolutely killed the This Is Sports Center commercials. If Kenny Mayne was in the This Is Sports Center commercial, it's a hit. So I just think it's sad to see Kenny Mayne go, especially on the same day that they extend Chris Berman, who, look, I don't care what anybody says. I have never been a fan of Chris Berman or lame-ass Tom Jackson that used to be with him. I always thought both those dudes were clowns.
Hey, Tom Jackson's straight edge, man.
Tom is I don't even want to call Tom what I want to call him. But It has Tom in it. But yes. But yeah, man, like I just never been big on.
You said he'd be hanging out with Dicka?
Yeah, he's out there with Dicka and them boys talking about he wants everybody to stop sagging their pants. Tom
Jackson.
So shout out Kenny Mayne, man, an original. That was just, it just sucks to kind of see that go. I think I tweeted about it twice. I was so torn up because I was watching like a month ago and I'm like, man, I think it's dope that ESPN has kept Kenny Mayne around. Like, hey, this dude's dope. Like, I'm sure he's a cool guy to work with, like whatever it might be. I don't know. Then you got these lame ass dudes like Butcher Gross and people like that who are
poor man Kenny Mayne.
Poor man Kenny Mayne. Yeah, Butcher Gross. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And all the way through, kept it loose and funny. Always. Even when he did get let go, he tweeted out like, "Yo, I'm leaving the ESPN. Cap casualty."
Cap casualty.
Like
I'm like, how are you letting this guy go, man? Yeah. Like, and they could have been paying him. Like, yeah, I don't. But how much was Kenny Mayne? You know, like all he does is host Sports Center at this point. Like, give him his $1 million and keep it moving.
He's probably pretty expensive, honestly.
Probably $1 million, a couple million. He's been there for 30 years.
Yeah, he's probably expensive. He does features and all that stuff. But yeah, he's all those guys from my childhood or our childhood. I should
all
say.
Gone.
Kenny Mayne, Stu. Who's our guy that does NBC or not NBC, NFL Network? Eisen.
Oh yeah, Rich Eisen.
All those Eisen's still around because he's still on TV, but all those guys were ESPN dudes that I rocked with tough, and they're not there anymore.
Shout out Jay Harris though. Jay Harris still holding it down.
Jay Harris. Who were we talking about today?
Michael
Rooks.
Smith.
Michael Smith is gone. What about our girl Rooks?
Oh, Taylor. No, Carrie Champion.
They're the same person though, but they're both tough.
Yeah.
Yes. Carrie Champion. She's not there anymore. Yeah. Shout out
Carrie Champion. Jamel Hill. But like I said, Jamel Hill left with the bag. I think they had to pay her out, and she's had like 2 years left on her contract. So shout out Jamel. But they did her grimy. At the same time, we were applauding Greeny last week. So they got some good shit going on. But man, get rid of some of these clowns, man. And let keep Stephen A. He's a national treasure.
Stephen A. I fucking Stephen
And get rid of Jay Will.
Not a Jay Will fan.
Not a Jay Will fan.
Okay, say less.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to the NBA. We got to touch on this Kent Bazemore, Brad Beal situation. So just to give y'all some background on this, Beal and Steph Curry are going after the scoring title in the league. They're right around 31 a game. They're both going nuts, and they're trying to keep up. Beal scored 50 the other night when they played heads up, but Bazemore post-game said, so while he dropped 50, Beal's going to miss the rest of the season with a hamstring.
Oh, is he out for the year?
He's going to be out for the rest of there's only, 3 games left?
The regular season, though?
The regular season. I don't know anything about after that, but they said he's going to miss the next couple for sure.
We need to caption a Russ like this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to – Russ was minus 400 yesterday to have triple-double.
Really? Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Minus 400 to have a triple-double. That's stupid.
And still almost like, man, maybe should I?
Yeah. So it's crazy. But so Beal and Steph are going crazy against each other trying to get the scoring title. Beal scores 50 but pulls a hammy. And after the game, Bazemore says, yeah, it's tough to keep up with Steph out here. You see guys, pulling hammies. Beal did not appreciate that. Started tweeting at Bazemore, called him a clown, said he was soft. What else did he say?
He said, I don't play for you. You're a lame.
Yeah, you're a lame. You're a nobody.
You don't understand why I play.
Right, all types of shit.
Like, just really, really took it personally.
And this was Beal, this morning. We'll get to Bazemore, but this was Beal this morning on First Take talking about the situation.
Comments about you and Steph battling for that scoring title. Congrats on that. What's your reaction to him more recently saying, Bradley, that he's just joking around? He said, we got guys hurting hamstrings trying to keep up. Talk to me.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the last part of the comment. The first half of it about what Steph was doing was, I'm with you. 49 and 29 minutes is, I think everybody in here can agree that that's remarkable and truly amazing, right? So nobody's arguing that. But I didn't mention you. My hamstrings have nothing to do with why I go out there and play the game. And for me to injure my hamstring and then you kind of make a joke about it, I don't take that too fondly, honestly, because I take pride in being somebody who, my first 4 years, I was always labeled as an injury-prone guy. I was always labeled as somebody who couldn't stay on the floor. So I take pride in my body. I take pride in being on the floor and being available for my team and giving my team the best chance to win. My main focus is getting us to the playoffs, and that's all I'm focused on. And so that was just all I was just trying to kind of get my point across. So just keep your situation over there. Let's just keep it hoops. Don't make fun of something that's not funny.
Big Nick the Quick, your thoughts on Brad Beal and him taking that personally?
Yeah, so the first take part of it, whatever. The Twitter part is where I really take issue with him. First off, dog, listen, man, you're Brad Beal. You led the league in scoring last year or second. You're leading the league in scoring this year or second. You're an all-star. You're one of the highest paid players in the league. You're the face of your franchise, right? You're a top 25 player, all the accolades, right? Why, number one, are you responding to Kent Bazemore? Like, why are you tweeting at Kent Bazemore? Why are Kent Bazemore comments even registering in your brain? Why are you angrily tweeting at him multiple times? Like, this is one of those situations where you tweet him, then you think of the next thing, like, oh, you know what else? I don't play for you, dog, and you's a bitch. I'm like, dog, he was really at the crib fired up about this. Meanwhile, your team is playing great basketball. You guys have taken yourselves from being one of the worst teams in the NBA to one of the hottest teams in the NBA at the right time. No one wants to see you in the playoffs with your two-guard combination. The last thing I'd be worried about would be Kent Bazemore. I would 100% remember when Rajah Bell was talking about Kobe and they asked Kobe about it and Kobe said, who? Who's Rajah Bell? I don't know that guy. Who is that guy? Right. That's exactly what I would have said. Like, dog, you're so beneath my level. You're so beneath someone that I think about. If we play against you guys in a series, you're not a factor, right? You play 14, 15 minutes a game. Like, great, good for you. I understand you got grossly overpaid by Atlanta, and maybe that has you feeling yourself a little bit more. But, like, dog, like, cool it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even say all that. That's what I'd be thinking. But my response would be, who? Hey, look, man, we're over here trying to get in this play-on game and solidify our playoff position. I'm not worried about who. Kenneth Bazemore is what I would have called him. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like, just let him know, like, yo, you're beneath me. But not like, oh, you got me hot, and now you're talking about my hamstrings, and you're making jokes about things that aren't funny, and you're a clown, and I don't play for another man's approval. Like, shut the fuck up, dog. Like,
I think the biggest thing is that got you that riled up? That little shit?
That comment? It wasn't even shit.
Yeah, that comment got you that upset to where you had to fire off tweets while he's playing in a game. He was playing.
Yeah, he was during the game.
Tweeting at him live during the game.
The Bazemore came like, what? If anything, it makes Bazemore look better. It's like, oh, this is more pub for me.
He tweeted at him live in the game like he's not going to respond, bro. He's at the free throw line, bro. So that was what it was for me. Listen, now I will say this. I hear Beal saying, I've been labeled as a guy early in my career that was banged up. Now I haven't been banged up. I've been hooping. I take care of my body. I'm always out there to support my team. And, me and Steph are out here putting on a show, and I happen to pull a hammy. That has nothing to do with me trying to keep up with Steph or this, that, and the third. So I feel him on that. But I didn't like how angry it got him. That's not something. I mean, hey, look, I'm not anyone to, who am I to say what should get you angry or not? But man, you're trying to make the playoffs. You got a bigger goal in mind. Fuck Kent Bazemore and whatever.
Statements weren't even that inflammatory, man. No. Like, he literally just said, like, man, Jug, you got dudes pulling hamstrings. Like, yeah, it was about you, dog, but like, it's Kent Bazemore, man. At the end of the day, this wasn't KD talking. This wasn't someone who's on your left. Like, yeah.
Here it is. Here's Kent Bazemore's thoughts. This is post-game after the dust has settled. He got an opportunity to, go see what Beal said. This is Bazemore after the game.
I mean, I guess you can't joke anymore, but, man, whatever. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a pretty lighthearted guy. I don't, I stay at my own lane. I don't, say things that ruffle feathers. But hey, man, it's just if you want to know what my loyalty is, it's the SC30. So, I mean, anybody out there chasing them, it's gonna be tough. But whatever. It kind of got out of hand. I didn't check my phone all day until after the game, so it's kind of blowing up. But I don't get involved in that crap, man. I'm gonna go home, love my wife, watch some Peaky Blinders, and go to bed. Dude, I got work to do tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever. Like, shout out Bazemore for handling it like that, because he's pretty much thinking the same thing that we are. Like,
right.
Whatever, dog. Like, it wasn't even that serious. I'm making jokes. I'm a lighthearted guy. Like, it's
He
Kent
should've-
Bazemore.
I wish he would have said, "And I hope we see you on the plane."
If you ever, if you ever get a chance, though, read up on
I know
Kent.
it's East versus West. I hope I see y'all. I hope we see y'all sometime soon.
Read up on Kent Bazemore and Under Armour and why he's actually very important. Kent Bazemore is one of the. Talk to your boy DePaula. He'll probably know. Kent Bazemore is one of the reasons that Under Armour got Steph Curry, extended Steph Curry, and has kept Steph Curry. Kent Bazemore has been signed to Under Armour for like 8 years. When he was a rookie, yes, there's a whole story on it. Yeah. So I'm gonna buck it up a little bit, but essentially, when he was a rookie, Under Armour, like if you're a rookie and you're playing in like a big market, a lot of times you can kind of get a shoe deal because you're on the sidelines, you're on the bench, a lot of camera shots of you, you're playing national television. So Under Armour was constantly sending him shit, right? And like Bazemore would always be decked out in like the newest Under Armour shit, big time proponent of the brand, always in Steph's ear, like, yo, they're dope. They send me all this shit. Check out all this new shit I got, like woo, woo, all that. So I guess when it comes time for Steph to sign with sign his deal, Nike messed up by calling him Stephen Curry in a meeting. And it circled back to
first off, inexcusable.
Inexcusable. It's not like it's a new guy either. We knew him in Davidson. He was Steph Curry.
If I am the whoever's in that room, and I don't know who called him that. If I'm the hierarchy, I'm firing Buddy on the spot in front of Steph.
Excuse me, Steph.
So
Go.
You're fired, bro.
You're done.
Steph, sorry about that, bro.
Yeah.
My man, you're fired. And go ahead, Steph. Sorry about that. We're back on track now.
So I guess he was sure he was going to sign with Nike. That happened. He remembered how much love Under Armour was showing to Bazemore, who was a rookie, and he's like, "Yo, if they're showing a rookie this kind of love," and like Bazemore's also in his ear, like, "No, like they plugged me." So I guess even now to this day, in 2017, he signed another extension with Under Armour because he's considered to be one of the biggest brand promoters of Under Armour in the NBA. So he's like their guy. So plus, not to mention, Kent Bazemore got $50 million from the Atlanta Hawks. So I think it's just all worked out great for Kent Bazemore, which is why when you ask him, he's like, "I don't give a fuck, dog.
Yeah, what?
You don't even know me, and I got $100 million, and Under Armour's paying me." Like, fuck y'all. That's why he called him SC30. On brand, baby.
On brand.
That's promoting the brand. That's SC30, the brand.
That's the biggest point.
I'll send you the article when I read it a couple of years ago, and it's fascinating. I'll send it to you.
Send me that. I think now that you say that, part of it, Beal probably feels like he's been underappreciated a lot of his career. And Bazemore is like, "Hey, I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm getting paid tons of money to play ball. I'm going to go hang out with my wife and
people
watch
love me.
Peaky Blinders. And I'll be back tomorrow.
I'll retire out with a bunch of money. I'll probably be on ESPN because guess what? People like me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And this just ups my profile. I'm the guy that talks shit to Brad Beal, ESPN. Put me on the jump because my career's over.
Or I didn't even talk shit, but I'm getting engagement off. I ain't even saying nothing like that.
I get a reaction out of people. People know me now. I'm Kent Bazemore. Show me the money. Shout out Kent Bazemore. He could be a Jalen Rose 2.0.
Shout out Kent Bazemore.
But I'll send you that Under Armour shit when I see it. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, send me that. I would like to read about that for sure. That's interesting as fuck. I'm gonna holler at DePaula about that.
Yeah.
DePaula was just in town. Shout out Nick DePaula, man. I gotta get him on the show ASAP, Rock.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk some shit about.
Ask him about those Zion shoes and what happened.
Yeah.
who designed those?
Yes. Well, we can talk about all that.
Shout out our guy who called them Skechers. ZKECHERs.
Stephen Curry in a business meeting.
That's just awful.
It just can't happen.
Like, imagine if you were sitting in a meeting with a client and you called their company the wrong. Like, yeah, you would probably be fired after the meeting. Like,
yo, wait. Speaking of that, when I used to work for CBS, one of our clients was Porsche, and if you don't know, it's not Porsche, it's Porsche.
It is Porsche. Yep, Porsche.
And we went to a meeting trying to sell a deal, and one of our teammates called it Porsche. and we didn't get the deal.
I heard of someone who went into a meeting with McDonald's with a Starbucks cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's just.
And it's like, we saw like.
Yeah, what are y'all
What are you doing?
Yeah, bro. I understand that coffee might not be our mainstay, but
we do it.
Come on, we do it. We got the McCafe rocking.
Yeah.
Come on, my guy. Yeah, man. It's there's a lot of stories like that. People just doing dumbass shit, pulling up in Adidas shoes and shit.
Yeah.
Signing a deal with someone and then throwing on like Yeezys and shit.
Wait, you said this guy did get fired after the meeting?
No, he didn't get fired. But we were like the lead on the deal was like, dog, the one thing you can't fucking do. We might as well have just walked out the office right then.
You might as well have been like, oh, I love Ford. Like what?
And it wasn't like Porsche. He just said it like and kept going and said his whole thing, and he just never caught it, never corrected it, never.
And they're sitting there looking.
Everyone's just as soon as he said that shit, everybody stopped listening to what he was saying. It was.
And you're in the meeting like.
Yeah, we're in the and exactly we're on the side like.
Just like it makes everybody look bad.
Yeah, this nigga just smoked off the whole shit.
The whole deal.
The whole deal is smoked.
Why are we here? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So. I feel that, man. Make sure your shit is tight.
Make sure your shit
especially
is very
with
tight.
the comp when you go into meetings. Make sure you know
100%.
Know how to
Stephen Curry.
His name, Stephen Curry.
So I would have been out right then and there. Like, all right, thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dap up.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move over to the NFL. We got a couple things, man. Couple things for the NFL. I want to get your thought. First off, NFL totals come out or are out. The NFL schedule comes out tomorrow. And a leak I've heard is Bears are in LA week 1, Sunday Night Football. I don't know how we always get all these marquee-ass primetime games, but we do. Well, I know why, because
you know why.
We're Chicago.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of viewers. You're going to get a ton of viewers.
So that's a leak that we'll see is true. The full schedule comes out tomorrow. Before we get to the over-under and totals that we could talk about, I do want to talk about this Tim Tebow situation in Jacksonville. He's been out of the league, 7 or 8 years?
Yeah.
Never played tight end.
Never.
Is going to be a tight end. Word on the street is that he's being brought in for almost not morale, but a shift in the culture of the Jaguars. What are your thoughts on Tebow coming back? Is it just like let me get some good morale around the guys and how shit's supposed to run, and then you won't get a roster slot? What are your thoughts overall?
I mean, I guess if your backup tight end is the type of person who can affect an entire football club, I don't see how he's going to be in any position to affect any morale in that club. Like, what is he going to do? Walk in there, be like, hey, I'm Tim Tebow, 2009 Heisman Trophy winner at Florida. I had a year in the NFL where I had a bunch of miracle victories, and now I'm going to lead you guys. So you guys need Jesus, right? Let me tell you about him. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what is he going to go in there and do? Like, it's a lot different when you're the starting quarterback and you're the reason why people are winning. Like, yes, you hold a lot of influence. Guys look at you, guys listen to you, because at the end of the day, like, you're responsible for leading them to where they want to go. So you could be inspirational. If you're the backup tight end, then everybody's always already looking at sideways and knows you're only there because you won some national championships for the head coach. Like, who's going to lead? Who's going to listen to him? Like, who is he going to lead? What kind of morale is he going to change in there in his tiny ass tight end room with 5 or 6 other guys? He's not going to be on the field leading the huddle. He's not going to be saying, come on, guys, let's go get it. What is Urban Meyer going to do? Put him up in front of the team and have him speak? Like, I don't understand. Like, I that part of it, I really don't get. I don't think he's in a position to affect culture enough. Like, he doesn't have the cachet in the NFL to do that. Like, you want to bring in a veteran who's going to affect culture? Go get like a Chase Daniel or a Ryan Fitzpatrick or one of these type guys who's actually played in the NFL, been around, and can actually help young guys. What's Tim Tebow going to do? Oh, yeah, I've been playing quadruple A baseball or fucking single A baseball for the last 5 years, not really making it past their roster. And now here I am going to come play a position where I'm not going to be able to do it. And I'm 34. and I love Jesus. Like, I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, that's really all I can see him coming in and saying. I nothing against it. I understand. Like, I don't understand, actually. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and it's more indication that Urban Meyer does not understand the NFL at all.
Interesting.
Just doesn't get it. Doesn't understand what the hell's going on.
I wouldn't go that far because he hasn't made the team. It's not on the roster, right? So, like,
why even?
Who fucking cares what he does in the summer and who he brings around? I think
make him a coach.
He loves Tim Tebow. That would be an option too.
He'll influence more people as a coach than someone trying to take someone's job.
Yeah, I agree with that. Make him a coach, right? Let him come on and bring the rah-rah shit that he's known for. I think a big thing is Tim Tebow is playing this shit the right way. I'm going to tell you why. You always wanted to go – well, first off, you win a couple national titles at Florida. You win the Heisman. You get an opportunity to play a little quarterback in the NFL. You make a couple things happen, but overall, you
won a playoff game and off of some bullshit, but you won a playoff game,
right? And
who was that against?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. That's right. The Steelers. That's right. Yep. In Pittsburgh, correct?
No, in Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not cut out to be a quarterback in the league. Cool. You get on TV, you do your thing for ESPN, College Game Day. You're doing SEC Network. You're doing your thing. You get the opportunity to go fulfill a childhood dream in playing baseball. You go do that because you know why? He's always going to have a seat at the television spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go play baseball for fucking 5 full years, and then I'll go holler at, wait, Urban got a – Urban?
Is that you?
Urban got a head coaching job at the Jags in the NFL. Let me get on the line and holler at my old guy who essentially quit coaching at Florida because I left. That relationship they're probably the closest.
Are you sure because the indictments on his players weren't piling up?
It's a little bit of both.
Folks, he was good.
It's a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying?
Recruiting some guys.
So I'll come play tight end. I'll come do whatever you want. I just kind of want to be around the gang and mess around and just be around the guys. I can do that. That ain't no problem.
It's a great life. I got paper in my pocket.
Because I'm going to always be able to go back to the television. As soon as he's done, he will be back on television for someone talking about college football.
He gave ESPN so many years of coverage and talking points that, they owe him. He can always get a job.
And he's a likable dude. Everyone likes him. Yeah, man, he'll have a job on television. Easy, no questions asked. And that's why he could go play baseball, play football, and do whatever the fuck he wants in between because he's going to have a dope gig after him. Tim Tebow.
Yeah, but it's just like if I'm on the team, I'm also looking at this like, dude, or I guess if I'm in the organization, another coach, I'm like, yo, every roster spot, and I get you can sign a ton of guys preseason and cut most of them to get down to 53, but I'm like, yo, every minute that we spend on somebody should be towards someone who's going to end up helping us win a football game, right? Like if I'm the tight ends coach, I'm like, yo, you mean to tell me I have to spend time with this, knowing that it has nothing to do with football? Or you could also sign me another tight end off the street who, I don't know, may have something because you find guys all the time because we just talked about you just look for freaks of nature. So you couldn't go find me some other freak of nature that maybe want to teach how to play the tight end position, some other ex-quarterback, someone who's played football in the last couple of years. You know, like something like it's just the amount. It takes time, right? If there's 10 guys in that room, that guy gets 10% of my time. Right. And it's like that's a 10% I shouldn't be giving. I could be giving to guys who could help the Jacksonville Jaguars win football games because Urban, that's why you're brought in here. Not some guy who's essentially like a rent-a-pastor who we're going to bring in here. Who's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to do? And if I'm on the Jags, I'm like, I'm sorry, do we have a culture problem? Like we're bad dudes? I know we suck at football and have for a long time, but it's like, well, what are you trying to do? And number 3, you want to start talking about who needs attitude adjustment? You fucking recruited murderers. Your tight end was literally killing folks and then showed up in Gainesville on Saturday to catch passes. I don't want to hear it from you. You are not our moral compass. You can't look in here and be like, this isn't right. We need Jesus. You don't make that determination. You needed Jesus in Gainesville. You needed Jesus in fucking Columbus. You damn sure don't need him here. Like, I just feel like it's stupid, man. Like, worry about coaching the football team. All your time and energy should be towards finding guys to make Trevor Lawrence a better football player. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I don't need Tim Tebow in my ear telling me about whatever.
Well, yeah, because he's definitely going to have a voice in there. If you're bringing him around, he's going to be talking. There ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah. What is he going to get? All right, Tim, break us down. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. No, it's a good point.
It's I just think it's stupid to me. Like I don't. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that is crazy. And it wasn't even like they're working him out. It's like they signed him. Like, the biggest
point. They haven't signed him yet, but I think the biggest point that you made. No, they're expected to sign.
Oh, okay.
I think the biggest point that you made was every minute going towards developing Tim Tebow or him learning something or whatever could be going to someone else that's actually going to make the squad or actually can make an impact. Remember, the Jags won 2 games last year. Or they won 1.
Yeah, we got a lot of work.
I think they won 1 now that I think about it. It's 1 or 2. I think they won 1 game and they lost 15 in a row. I think they went 1-0 and then lost 15 in a row. Double check that for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at it for you right now.
But
1 and 15.
Yeah, they won the first game of the year, right?
Let's see.
So there's a lot of things you got to work on, and I think you're making a good point.
Yeah, they won their first game against the Colts and then didn't show up for the rest of the year.
They won their first game against the Colts, who was actually a good team, and they lost 15 in a row after that. So no gimmicks, man. Just get to work.
We need to get to work. It takes away time to have him in there. It takes away a locker space. It takes away an opportunity to look at another guy who could help you. It just takes away finding another natural leader maybe in your locker room. Like, these are things that matter. And I think you're doing. It's just a waste of time. You only have so much of it in the NFL.
Losing 15 in a row is actually kind of crazy.
It is.
Obviously we've had teams go 0-16, but losing 15 in a row is. That's right there, right? Like, God damn, 15 in a row. At least, like, if you go 1-15, usually you like win in the middle of the year.
Well, I think it was like over the last 10 years or 5 years, no one spent more money in free agency than the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is a team that throws around a bunch of money and just never wins anything. So, and
I've also, in recent memory, I can't remember a team being as good as they were when they went to the AFC Champ game against the Steelers. With Bortles. And then the next couple of years after that being bottom of the barrel, worst team in the AFC.
And Bortles was actually good that year. I think he got an extension too.
He did get an extension.
Is he still in the league?
He's not in the league anymore.
The league was out on him quick, huh?
Yeah, no, he's out of the league.
Hey, get Blake. I'd rather have Blake Bortles than Andy Dalton. He was on the Rams last year. Shout out Blake Bortles.
Shout out Blake Bortles. Money maker.
I hope he got his money.
Blake Bortles definitely
I always think about, like, if someone's out the league, I always check how much money they make while they were in.
Blaine Gabbert just got an extension.
Blaine Gabbert's made like $100 million playing football.
Brady's holding him down out there in Tampa too.
Awesome.
Shout out Blaine Gabbert.
Hey, Blake Bortles, $48 million playing professional football.
Look up Blaine Gabbert with his new deal too. Blaine Gabbert been cashing out forever.
I think Chase Daniels made like $70 million. He's only started 2 games.
Yo, shout out Chase. He makes like 8 per.
Yeah, he gets paid. Being a good guy. So his wife's like, go back for another year. Yeah, sure.
Locker room guy. Give me the Blaine Gabbert number.
All right, Blaine Gabbert's career earnings, $21.7 million.
21.7 million.
That's fine. Look, whatever.
Yeah.
21.7 million more than I got. I'll take it. That's a lot of bread.
It's a lot of bread.
If he's managed his money well, he's fine.
Yeah.
How much do you think Fitzpatrick has made in his career?
55. Maybe not though, because he's always on like a 1 year. Fitzpatrick always on like a 1 year.
He'll be in the league forever. He's 38.
6 game. He'd be on like 6 game deals and shit.
Talk about a guy who's 100% going to TV when it's all said and done. Like it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Shout out Fitz.
Fitzpatrick has made $72 million, and by the time he's playing for a $10 million deal this year with the Redskins, with the Washington football team. By the time it's all said and done, he will have made $82 million.
What's Fitzpatrick's biggest deal? Where did he get a decent little chunk? Because he has to have
$12 million from the Jets.
He has to have a couple chunks in there.
Buffalo paid him 13.2 1 year and then 8 another year. It looks like he made some good money with Buffalo. He made 25 million there. He
never made more than 10 or like
never made more than 13 million at Buffalo.
He's just chipping away.
But he stays employed, and he's getting 10 million this year from the Skins.
At 2 years at a time.
Love it.
Yeah,
great.
Shout out Fitz.
Hey, and he can decide if he wants to play or not play. And
right.
Obviously the Harvard thing's been talked about ad nauseum, so I'm sure he saved his money. That 82, maybe he got some ETH. He could be at 150 million. Who knows? Seems like a smart guy. Shout out Fitz, man. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, another little rotation. Speaking of bread, speaking of Las Vegas, Nevada, I sent this to the group chat.
Dog.
Everybody out there listening now, I just flashed a graphic on the screen. Coming to Raiders Allegiant Stadium, the Wynn Field Club. Wynn Las Vegas Casino, the best property in Las Vegas. It's a new concept by Wynn Resorts. Premium DJs, bottle service, TVs, 42 TVs, 9-inch by 35 LED screen, field level suites spanning the entire end zone. So if you're just listening and you can't see the screen, essentially there's going to be a nightclub with booths, bottle service style, with a DJ in the end zone during Raiders games, brought to you by Wynn Resorts. Big Nick the Quick was not a fan. He said, "Yo, look, we don't need to combine these."
Yeah, I've never been at the club and wanted to be I said I've never been at the club and wanted to be at a football game, and never been at a football game and wanted to be at the club. And Eder said we never had the option for both.
Yes,
come back.
That's a fact.
But to me, I just I picture that filled with the worst people in the world. Like all the people who I wouldn't want to be around at a football game. Like, you know the types, man. Just like the douchiest of the douchey people in the world. Like,
so are they going to be banging music during the game?
Yes, it's going to be a club. They said they have a 45,000 watt sound system. You don't do that to play it on too. That shit to turn it up.
Wait, but is it just what about when the Raiders are on? Coming into that end zone. That shit can't be on.
I think we saw that front part. What I'm assuming is it goes back to more of like a clubby area. Like that's the front. Like that's the premium. You want to sit in the end zone in those booths like you're paying crazy. Right. I'm assuming it goes back and it's probably like a nightclub type situation, or like a beach club, like whatever it might be. Might be like Dre's. Like who knows what it's really going to look like when it's all done. But
or maybe just like on timeouts and shit. They just turn that shit up crazy.
Which just seems like a lot. It just seems like, it seems like, for me, like just knowing myself, like I don't love the club to begin with, but I do like it in the right situation. That is not the situation that I want to be in the club or around club people. Like club people blow me, and I feel like it's going to be filled with a bunch of just like the douchiest Vegas club Firefest people you could possibly imagine. I'd rather And like, I don't know, like for me, and I get why they're going to do it. They're going to make a lot of money off of it because motherfuckers in Vegas got money and looking for shit to do during the day. And Sunday, let's go to the game, sit in the bottle section. It's going to be a bunch of chicks there. Like, yeah. It's just not, for me, like, it's not what I would do. Like, if you called me and say, hey, Nick, I got tickets to the Legion Club, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. So, like, let's not have it be that way. But I wouldn't, like, I'd be like, yeah, dog, I'd probably want to do something else. Not to mention that shit's probably going to cost.
Yeah, that shit gonna be stupid.
Yeah, you're it's gonna cost you 10 to even think about enjoying that.
That shit gonna be stupid.
Bet bottle's gonna be about 2,500.
Yo, as long as you think they're gonna have a little lady coming up placing wagers for you?
Yeah, they could.
Need that too.
That's what I want to see about their stadium, though. Like they really need to build this best book ever at that stadium. You know what I mean? And get multi-use out of it. The Wynn needs to build a little satellite
little window
over there for everything. Yeah. Table games like that. If they told me they built a casino in that motherfucker, I'd be like, okay. You know,
they're playing blackjack while you watch the game.
Yeah, that would be sick. So no, I get why they're doing it. I don't knock them for doing it. I'd do it too. It's just for me, it's not my my ideal way of trying to do it. A lot of that gimmicky shit, I'm just like,
yeah, I feel you. I can't be mad at that.
But if they got bottle service in the regular seats, I'm in there.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna catch a game out there, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll see what it looks like.
It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be back and we'll report.
Yeah, we'll come back with the report. We'll let you guys know if it's worth it.
Maybe I'll vlog this shit. That's what I should do.
We should find a sponsor who's gonna buy us a table at the Wynn for that experience.
And just vlog it for him.
We'll make it. We'll have a lot of fun.
Sell it out for him.
Hey, be like, yo, just give us the $15K we need, and don't worry, we'll handle the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get you that. We'll get you the return. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, give us the expense report, and we're good to go, man.
Don't worry about it. For all the football fans, NFL schedule releases tomorrow. I was on FanDuel checking shit out. They have the NFL team totals are out. DraftKings as well. Make sure you go look at those. The Bears are at 7.5 currently. I think that's an interesting number. There was a couple interesting numbers. Like, have you seen them yet? Quick?
No, I have not.
Okay, let me give you here long before we since you haven't seen them. I'm going to go through a couple of these NFL win totals, and I'm just going to have Nick guess some, and let's see what.
Dude, it's so hard for me to think of this with that 17th game because it changes my.
Oh, it changes everything.
It changes my complete line of thinking how many games the team would win. So yeah.
Yes,
like what is 12-4 in a 17? Is it 13-4, or is it 12-5? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you a 12-win team regardless, or will you win another game with that extra game?
And I mean, we've been watching 16-game seasons since we were, forever.
What a vicious money grab. Those guys, they're special.
Yeah, they don't care about that shit.
It's going to be 18 within 5 to 10 years too.
Okay, Chicago Bears 7.5. I'll go through our division first. Where do you think the Detroit Lions are win total for 2021-22? The Detroit
17.
Lions.
5.5.
5.5. Good guess. It's 5.
Okay.
And under 5 is -120. So the Lions are going to be bad. And
Jared Goff is their quarterback. They couldn't win 5 games with Stafford. Goff is awful.
Yes,
that seems like a winner. Unless Rodgers is out the division, then Green Bay could be 2 wins for somebody.
They don't have Green Bay on the list for that exact reason.
Yeah.
How about the Minnesota Vikings? 21-22 over under for the Minnesota Vikings. 17 games. The Bears are at 7.5. Where you got the?
I would just wonder how much Packers consideration is being put into these NFC North numbers. You know what I mean? Like it's a hard. You might be. You either going to get some great value or, Vikings in a 17 game 8.5.
8.5, dead on. That's what it is.
8.5, yeah.
It's super juiced though. So over 8.5 is -145. Under is 125. So they expect them to win 9 games essentially.
Which seems about that's what Kirk Cousins does.
Yeah,
RG3 told you, man. He's got a lot of money to go 9-7 every year.
9-8, yeah, 9-8 now. Yeah, for real.
We need that soundbite.
Yeah, real shit. Let me see who else is an interesting one. Okay, Super Bowl champs. What would you put them at? 21-22 season. Brady's back. They brought back Fournette. They signed essentially all their defenders.
Yeah.
Gronk is back. Brady in year 90, going for Super Bowl number 8. Where would you put Tampa Bay?
12.5.
12.5. They're at 11.5. So you got them going over.
I kind of like 11.5. I don't see.
You're thinking like 13-4.
What's that division? NFC South. So
that's them. Tampa. That's Tampa, New Orleans, Carolina, and Atlanta.
I think they're gonna run through that division. There's no Drew Brees anymore. They're running through that division.
Speaking of no Drew Brees, where would you put the Saints?
That's a tough one. So their home field. Okay, so they get
21-22.
Do they have 8 or 9 home games?
That's a good question on that. Yeah, that's a good question.
The Saints, because they're at home, they're gonna win 75% of their games. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is, right? So I would probably put the Saints at 8 even.
Saints are at 9. 9 even.
That's very high.
Yeah.
I don't love that at all. I would actually pound that under.
Really?
Yeah, I would. There's a lot of uncertainty over there. Their defense is nasty though. They haven't been a quarterback driven team in a few years. They really have been a defense and run the ball with Kamara. So, but you never know. Jameis will give you a few.
Shout out Jameis, man. Bounce back year for Jameis. Bounce back year for Jameis.
Yeah, I hope so. Unless they start Taysom Hill, you never know. 9 to me seems very high for them, though. That's the first one where I'm like that. I don't know what they're looking at that gets you that high.
Because you got to win 10. 9's an interesting number, and with the 17 games for like a middling squad, because 10. But 10-7 is that good?
Yeah, 10-6 is great. 10-7, yeah, it's not that good.
It's not that good, right?
Lovey got fired at 10-6, so 10 isn't what it used to be with some of these teams now. And you're losing that extra wild card spot this year, right? The one the Bears got last year. Is that still around?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually,
there was an extra playoff spot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, keep going.
Okay, give me. I'll tell you one that's pretty telling.
Okay.
Houston Texans 21-22 regular season win total is 4.
Yeah, I was going to say 4.5.
They're telling you right now that Deshaun Watson is not going to be.
He's not going to be there.
I think that's what that means to me.
Even with him playing last year, they won 5 ball games. So
yeah, but still, like Jacksonville's over under 6.5.
That's insane. Throw me out a couple more teams. I want to guess.
Yeah,
Buffalo. I got Buffalo
Okay. Buffalo
11.
Bills.
11.
They are right now it's 10.5, but extremely juiced.
What is
Over
a 10.5 at?
minus 170, which is
right. So
why
you're
would you ever
paying
take
for
that?
that 10.5. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, why would you ever take that?
Why
I
not,
don't know.
why not make it why not? Yeah. Okay. You're paying a lot of money.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns. 21-22 regular
Man, they have
season win
so
total.
much hype going into the year.
11 wins last year, 11-5, went to the playoffs, beat the Steelers.
The Steelers are going to be down. Dude, I think they got to be at 12 wins.
It's 10.5.
That's
with under juiced at 120. So you should take a look at Cleveland, bro. Because I do think Pittsburgh is down for sure. I think Pittsburgh's going to be whack.
Very down.
So take a look at that. Cincinnati, Burrow is coming off literally a completely reconstructed ACL, MCL
on a team that's ass.
Yeah, no old line. Yeah, they're
not going to win too many ball games over there. I think Cleveland's going to run. I mean, not run away with that division, but the only competition is Baltimore. And I thought Cleveland. If you look at Cleveland the second half of the year, in particular Baker Mayfield, he was really good. Like he was terrible for the first half of the year, but they're still winning games. He was really good in the second half of the season, and I feel like he's going to carry that into a contract year. So remember, he's trying to get paid this year.
Give me.
Baltimore. Baltimore is probably an interesting one.
I was just going to say, yeah, since you were speaking Baltimore, give me Baltimore. 21-22 NFL.
10.5. 10.5 has to be.
11.
So
11.
They think Baltimore is going to be better than Vegas is.
Over.
That's not what they think, but the money, yeah.
Over 11 plus 100, under minus 120. 11 is an interesting
Over
number.
11 is plus 100?
Over 11 is plus 100. 12 wins? 12-5? It's a great fucking year.
At plus 100, yeah.
12-5?
Yeah.
And you can't throw that bitch currently?
Yeah, but see, if you're giving me the plus 100, it makes it a lot more appetizing.
Yeah, well, that's why they got it at plus 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like,
Exactly. So there's some interesting totals.
What are the Bears?
7.5.
7.5, okay.
Yeah, minus 115 both ways.
I would probably take the Bears to over 7.5 wins.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think we'll find out soon enough.
I think the Bears are over 7.5 wins.
Somehow we always win. We always are at it. We have a chance to go 500.
Well, what were they last?
No matter what.
Last year it was 9, right?
The over under.
Yeah, wasn't it 9? Wasn't it?
I think it was 8.
It was like dumb high. It was dumb high based off the year that we were coming off of.
It was 8.5. There a lot of people were saying like that was too low, too high.
Yeah,
it was dead on. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, make sure y'all go check out the win totals. They're out. The schedule comes out tomorrow. A lot of stuff rocking. NFL's around the corner, man. That shit is moving quick. NBA playoffs. We didn't even get an opportunity to break down the NBA and the roundup for the play-in, but
let's give them real credit real quick because this play-in game is looking like it's going to shape out exactly how the NBA wanted it. On the East, you got stars, right? You're going to have Brad Beal. You're going to have Russell Westbrook. You're going to have those guys. In the West, you might get Golden State versus LA. I know you want those guys playing in 7-game series, but man, if you want to create hype around this, if you want to create hype around this, like that's the way to do it. You can pay-per-view that joint. Sign me up.
Right.
Sign me up. I don't care what Ron says. I don't care what Mark Cuban says. This is fucking great.
Sell it for 20 a piece, right?
This is great. I can't 1-game elimination, the best players in the world. We've never seen this unless it's a game 7.
Yeah.
The strategy, like, do you want to see Russ Westbrook and Brad Beal over 1 game? Do you want to see Steph Curry for 1 game? Injuries, man, there's so much that could happen. I love it.
Yeah, man. It's into a quick refresher on that. So 7 and 8 play. They only have to win 1 to get in, and then 9-10 have to win 2 games. So if the Lakers, say Lakers Warriors play the 7-8 and the Warriors win, they're in, and then the Lakers would have to then beat the winner of the 9-10 game to get the 9-10.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So
fun.
Yeah, it's essentially the Lakers are playing could end up playing 2 back-to-back games where they win and get in.
It is crazy you got that moment of honesty from Bron on this because, like, to me, like, you would expect Ron to be like, we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. And like for him to be like, this is some stupid shit. Like, it's like, yo, you're worried, dog. You don't want to see Steph in them, huh?
Yeah.
He saw that matchup and we're like, wait, hold on. We got to see who?
Right.
Oh,
right.
fuck. I'm done with this little light-skinned dude, man. I don't want to play him anymore. That's what he's thinking. And like, hey, he's back.
Yo, play-in starts Tuesday, so we'll be back on the mic Tuesday. We'll be able to talk about that. The regular season ends Sunday night. Monday is an off day. Play-in's Tuesday.
Love it.
So we'll hop on Tuesday, talk some shit.
No time.
Waste no time. That's it for No Catch Up today. I'm your host, Sean Little. Shout out Big Nick the Quick, of course. Make sure you follow us everywhere, man. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you get your pods. Lock in with us. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We out of here.